Can I tell you a story about Jordan
Please,
Peterson?
I would love to hear a story about the weeping professor.
You know that there was recently a conference.
We were both there.
Right.
Indeed.
In the booming metropolis of Boise, Idaho.
Much love to Boise.
Yes.
Boise DSA, and Andrew.
And Boise, that's right. And yes. Boise State University hosted this. And originally when I got called, I don't know how they contacted you, Michael, but when they called me, it was to invite me to debate Jordan Peterson. And now I have to be very honest and tell you that when they invited me, I had no idea who that was. And I never
What a better mental ecology you have.
It just... So I did what all good Americans do. I went right to my Google and looked up Jordan Peterson. And, I'm not competent, as I've said, to talk about the psychology that he does. I'm married to a psychologist. She has taught me many things. But, it's not my thing. But occasionally he would veer off of whatever he was talking about, how young men should pull themselves up by whatever it is they pull. I have to be careful. Anyway, when he does that, he veers off and talks about Marxism suddenly.
Right.
It kind of erupts into his discourse. And then he has a simple equation, Marxism, Stalin.
Right.
Marxism equals Stalin. Stalin is awful. Therefore, it's a mystery to him. He says this, why anybody who isn't perverted would be interested in Marxism since it equals Stalin, which equals murder or something like that. And, I'm dumbfounded. I mean, I know this was hot stuff in the 50s and 60s at the height of the Cold War. This sort of reasoning passed in a society that was so hysterically frightened about something that it worked at that level of sophistication. But that has all died out. The Cold War isn't here. And that level of Cold War discourse, I thought, had faded with it. Good riddance. But not with Jordan Peterson. He must have discovered it, I don't know, early last week, and it's very exciting to him. It's new, it's fresh, and he deals with it as if he just figured it out and is helping us all to recognize this colossal insight he had after one beer.
One cider.
So I said, okay, this is going to be kind of easy. This is sort of childish stuff, and I will say that because
it is.
What are you going to say? and then, so I agreed to do the debate. I did eventually go out there when we met there.
You gave a great talk. You spoke about Jordan Peterson for about
I did.
5 minutes.
Yes.
And then you went
because
on to
several
more
weeks,
important things.
Several weeks after I accepted, which was, I think, during the summertime or something like that, I got called back by them, and they told me that the debate was off because Mr. Peterson had, I believe, if I understood the story correctly, increased his fee and quite considerably. And so the university couldn't do that. It's a state university, so they can't do that. And so the debate was off. And clearly the young people who called me were, let me be polite, agitated by this course of events, and so invited me to come out by my lonesome and give a talk in place of the debate that was now off. But Jordan Peterson, whatever his qualifications as a psychologist may be, I don't know, but when it comes to Marxism, this is the worst, silly, dismissive caricature that I've seen in many a year. Used to be common.
Right.
But nowadays the kind of people who used to do that easily, they know somehow that doesn't fly anymore. And so they don't do it. But
kind of embarrassing.
Mr. Peterson, he doesn't get it. So he runs it up the flagpole and hopes.
I understand why those students were upset because, I mean, not to rag on Idaho because, the Boise Broncos have an interesting football team, but you debating Jordan Peterson would have been probably the most amazing thing that's happened in that state all year. That would be the #1 event, I think.
I feel like it would be like, I can't think of the proper analogy.
Peterson would have been embarrassed.
Peterson would have been totally embarrassed.
I don't know. The people who talk like that,
yeah.
The people who talk like that, I mean, I hope so. That would be good.
No,
if
he
were
wouldn't be embarrassed, but there would be a good general public
he wouldn't have been able to keep up on economics.
Yeah, he wouldn't have been able to keep up on anything other than.
But you know, to be fair to the guy, and I don't know him, so it's not that I'm trying to be nice. I was struck, honestly, by how seriously many of those young people in the audience had obviously taken his work. That they had been reading and watching videos of Jordan Peterson. He's getting their attention.
He's certainly, I think he's
they made a conference
very well to alienation in a very powerful way.
I think that, and also I was talking to my friend about this over the Thanksgiving break. You know, like the church has always played such a large role in, like, especially American society, and sort of like alleviating a lot of people's personal feelings of alienation. And more with younger people being more and more secular, right. I feel like he's found that role where, if you look at his message, and he is, you know, religious, right? But he's not giving a sermon per se. And a lot of those people who are Jordan Peterson fans also like Christopher Hitchens and Sam Harris and all these new atheists, as contradictory as it is, right? For a completely irrational thinker like Peterson, who talks about dragons and stuff. But like, he really is trying to fill in that void of, you know, a secular church in a lot of ways.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. You just enjoyed that Michael Brooks Show video, and you can get a lot more by subscribing to us here at the Michael Brooks Show YouTube channel. It's literally right there.